You're watching Detroit is Different interviews at the 2026 Mackinac Policy Conference.
Detroit is different here at the Mackinac Policy Conference, interacting with some people that definitely are throughout the state, even those come in Detroit. One thing big in Detroit we definitely know is the community sector, many nonprofits. So from the Michigan Nonprofit Association, Kelley's here. You all just released a report talking about a lot of the money, the figures, the people working in the nonprofit sector. What went into releasing this report? Because certainly we know in the city of Detroit, there are many nonprofit organizations that stabilize our community.
So the purpose of the report is to really start by educating what the nonprofit sector is. I mean, to your point, you mentioned nonprofits that operate in the city of Detroit. Nonprofits follow the population trends. So where there is more population in the state, there will be more nonprofits serving. And so when we think about the importance of the sector, data speaks. And so what we really wanted to do was take a look at what does the sector makeup look like? So we ran the economic data report and just released the report. One of the things that we learned in previous report editions was within the nonprofit sector, it's really diverse. It's nonprofits who do direct service delivery, like you talked about, those that are operating in and out of neighborhoods. It's our friends in philanthropy, our foundation folks. They are a part of the sector. It's higher ed institutions. It's also health systems. And so it really goes the breadth and depth of spanning, and we really wanted to use it as an opportunity to educate about the breadth and depth of the sector. And at the Michigan Nonprofit Association, we're of course focused on nonprofits who are doing the direct service delivery. And what the data said was that we make up 10% of the workforce. I mean, in the end, we are an employer. We are jobs. We move billions of dollars between all of those different elements that make up the sector. $34.2 billion, as a matter of fact. So we are a really contributor and important part of the economy.
And when we think of that, especially now, the federal administration certainly has approached a lot of the support for some of the nonprofits and organizations a lot different than the former federal administration. In the city of Detroit, it's clearly seen because there are larger nonprofits now, even in that same pursuit of like smaller grants and access to certain dollars, just due to those shifts. And that has large impacts on communities because it is sometimes those neighborhood associations, that block club, that, we're putting flowers in the median of our street group that relies on some of those smaller dollars. But when the larger dollars aren't as fluid, certainly our community being more aware of what's going on can only help.
Yeah, we are aware that there is a tremendous amount of uncertainty for nonprofits. I mean, if we think about the important role that nonprofits played back in the pandemic, right? I mean, many relied on nonprofits. Our visibility was elevated, right? And who would think fast forward to 2026 and we're watching kind of almost the opposite a little bit with the focus on nonprofits. And you're right, nonprofits are at the core community, right? These are community leaders. They come from community. They know community. When we think about nonprofits, trust is our largest and best currency that we have. Those trusted relationships that those nonprofits have in their community, it's really, really important. But they're operating with a tremendous amount of uncertainty. What is happening at the federal level is creating a tremendous amount of uncertainty. We see it now rippling into the state budget as we're working through the state budget. And what does it mean for communities to be able to continue to address the needs? I mean, there are a lot of pressures being put on the sector right now. And in addition to the data that talks about what is the economic impact, it also goes along with the story of what nonprofits do every day in community and how much they're needed and relied on. And that if we're going to continue to address needs, we need to be resourced appropriately.
Okay, so this really speaks to a lot of that self-determination, as I think, with this information. So we're more aware as community where we can serve a role in supporting nonprofits. If a person's interested in getting this data so that they can advocate more for the group that they're representing or where they want to go, how do they connect with this report? How do they get their hands on it? What's the best way?
So the report's available on our website at mnaonline.org. It's hot off the press today, as a matter of fact. We've been working on it for a couple months, but we just launched it this week in coordination with the conference, and we really want to educate everybody about what the sector is. I mean, even those in the sector may not be aware about the economic impact that they have. I mean, we're an employer. We contribute billions to the economy. We move resources all the time, but at the core of it, we're helping community. And it's that entire story that we want to be sure that we're educating those of us in the sector that work here, as well as board members, volunteers, donors. Those are all important players in the sector as well. And so the economic data report should speak to all of that with regard to the important work of nonprofits.
That works well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Peace.